And welcome back. It is Tuesday. These are out of order right now because I'm pre-recording a lot of videos. I pre-recorded I did a video that's coming out already today, Saturday, not Tuesday. I had not done my Pokemon video yet, which will be the last video I do before I take a break. I have not pre-recorded the What If for Monday yet. And I've only just got, and I didn't know who would win, but I have on Tuesday's What If. And I still got to do the lantern. I am all over the place right now. But welcome back. It's a one-shot What If for the week of What If. And we got this one from Science Rules. Yeah, you knew I was going to say it like that. Who asked the question, what if transformations didn't exist in Dragon Ball? Because that's ultimately what Dragon Ball kind of became founded on, is transformations. So you might be asking, well, why is this a what if, only one shot? Well, let me tell you, because it starts off drastically different in the beginning, but it ends pretty quickly. So if we're going by this assumption that there are no transformations, let's actually start with the beginning of Dragon Ball, where Bulma runs into Goku. Goku's getting fish. Goku in this version is actually a lot stronger than the 10 power level he had, because Grandpa Gohan is still very much alive. He's been training Goku this whole time. Goku is probably, no joke, after 10 years of it being alive there and training with him, he's probably at least as strong as Roshi is in base. I mean, granted, Roshi's got his muscle form, but all that, which puts him well above that. But he's probably somewhere hovering in the 130 some odd range. So let's just say 130. So Bulma runs him down, but he runs him over, hits him. They kind of have a meeting of the minds. Goku, though, having never really seen a girl, probably not. Grandpa Gohan maybe took him in town once or twice, but that's about it. Wondering who she is and why she's around, and she says, "I'm looking for these." It's like, "Oh wait, Grandpa's got one of those. Hold on, come on, I'll show you." And, Gohan's just like sleepy, "Oh, Goku, you're back." And goes, "Oh, and you brought a friend. Oh, who's this?" It's like, "Oh, this is Bulma." And she explains, what the Dragon Ball is, what she's doing, why, and all that. And so she asked if she can, he'd be willing to part with it. It's like, "I've had it for so long, but it's been nothing more than really a nice trinket. So if it can go to a good cause, absolutely, my young lady. So here you go. Goku, would you like to?" It basically says, go with her. Keep her safe, and you go see the world. I'll be here, and you can tell me all about it afterwards. Goku's a little hesitant, but ultimately he's like, okay, yeah, sure. So they go on their adventure. They meet Roshi, get the other Dragon Ball. He saves the turtle, no problem. They were under Yamcha, but even hungry, starving, Goku is well beyond that of Yamcha. So he does make quick work of Yamcha. They take care of Boss Carrot. They take care of Fire Mountain, which, honestly, Goku, I think, even has the Kamehameha at this point. They don't really need Roshi, so he just Kamehameha. Unfortunately, he blows up the mountain a little bit, but it is what it is. Although Goku isn't as strong as Roshi when he used the Kamehameha, because Roshi's power in that form is immense compared by Dragon Ball standards. It is. So yeah, he is. He's able to douse the flames, although it still does damage to the mountain. He gets the Dragon Ball. They go off and do their thing. One thing comes to another, and they get to Pilaf, who captures them. But Goku doesn't transform in this. So what happens? Does Pilaf get his wish, or does Goku? Does he ultimately get them out of there? Well, because he's much stronger here, I think he Kamehamehas the ceiling, which is glass, and ultimately takes it down. Because he actually has legitimate Kamehameha, not a dinky little Kamehameha. So yeah, so I think they're able to get out of there, and they stop the dragon from doing the bad wish. Goku then goes back to Grandpa Gohan, tells him about his trip. This is amazing. And yeah, I mean, he met Roshi the one time, but does he ultimately train with Roshi? Well, that's actually a really fair question. I don't think so. I don't necessarily think he would, but because he would mention he met Roshi, and Gohan spoken of Roshi, he says, "You should probably train with him, Goku. He can teach you more than I ever could." So maybe he does go to Roshi's. and try to train with him. He's already got a pupil with Krillin, but then Gohan goes along with him. Saying, "It's been a long time, Master." It's like, Gohan, it's been a long time indeed. So Roshi, after talking with Gohan, does agree to take Goku under his wing. I don't see him actually getting that much stronger, surprisingly, than where he is now. Probably a little stronger than Roshi in base, sure. But when the time comes for the tournament, I think Roshi, because of his experience, and he says, I have longer legs, I can dig in deeper. I think Roshi would actually still take the win. So that leads us now to the Red Ribbon Army arc. So I'm going to be kind of skipping around Dragon Ball a little bit because, or fast forward through Dragon Ball a little bit. And this is due to the fact that there actually isn't, the changes are drastic, but they're not at the same time because the end result ultimately is the same, just with different things preluding to that. So for instance, the Red Ribbon Army get quickly defeated by this much stronger version of Goku. And then, because nothing really changes in that. There's actually no even real reason for Goku necessarily to go out and find the 4-star ball, because, Gohan's alive. But because, it was an important, they liked the 4-star ball. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go find the 4-star ball. I kind of miss seeing it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he could definitely go and look for the 4-star ball, sure, and then run into the Red Ribbon Army, and all that shenanigans takes place. Goku's stronger in this version compared to his canon counterpart, so it makes it even easier. He didn't ever transform in that arc either. Then you get into this includes the Tao Pai Pai, a mercenary Tao, who still, I think, beats Goku pretty soundly, but then he goes to Korin, does the training there, makes him a bit stronger than he is in the canon there, all as well as end well. You move over to the next tournament, where he ultimately has to deal with Tien. That all goes pretty down the same, to the point where Goku still loses by hitting the truck. Then you get the King Piccolo stuff. Now, King Piccolo doesn't transform, fortunately, so there's nothing really to worry about in there. Goku does a little bit better, but ultimately still has to go find the Ultra Divine Water. Krillin still gets killed. Again, nothing is really, when you really think about it, even though I'm breezing through it, when you really stop to think, Goku not being able to transform, maybe being a little stronger, doesn't change a whole lot. So ultimately, King Piccolo is defeated. He goes, trains with Kami for a couple of years, comes back for the tournament. There's Ma Jr., our Piccolo now. Goku is now probably stronger than his canon counterpart. He's probably sitting around a 300 for his power level, as opposed to the 260 that Daizenshu says, which enables him to actually handle Piccolo a lot better in this case, or more effective, I should say, more effectively. So that he is able to defeat Piccolo. Great, super awesome. You then move into the 5 years between Super and Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I almost said Super. Where he married Chi-Chi and kept training. Now, where Goku's power would lie at this point, that's a little more difficult to kind of pinpoint. Gohan's still alive, so he can actually still be there to help him train him to a certain degree. He's also there to be a grandfather to Gohan. I think they would name him after him. I'm Grandpa Gohan, you're Baby Gohan. Yeah! It's like, aw. So because Goku does have another teacher who lives right near him that he can use, to use for training, I think Goku would probably be, I could say he doubles his power. I think 600 is reasonable. So when Raditz finally shows up, they clash with each other. Goku fares a lot better. He's at least half as strong as suppressed Raditz. And they clash. Goku handles them more effectively, but ultimately still has to do the sacrifice play. Dies, goes to King Kai's. And again, we are still at a point here where transformations don't matter. Well, now we're getting into the Saiyan arc, where a couple transformations did happen. Now, first off, Goku obviously trains with King Kai. Oh, God, I'm trying to remember power levels. The amount, it was around times 20, so I'm going to say I put him at 12,000. I think that's reasonable. Based off where his power level originally was. So when he gets back, obviously, and that means he could probably handle the triple with a bit more effectiveness. I still wouldn't put it much beyond the triple and the fourth, though. I wouldn't go like my usual times 5. I think he'd still stay at times 4 as his limit. But that means he can do times 2 and actually overwhelm Vegeta. Likewise, Everyone else dies, fortunately, except for Gohan and Krillin. Goku gets in there, starts laying the smackdown on Nappa. He doesn't even have to Kaioken to catch up with Nappa. He just catches up with Nappa. Breaks his back. Vegeta throws him out, kills him. They clash. Goku struggles, but even his initial Kaioken already evens him out to Vegeta's max. And Goku just decides to push it even further and then just completely overwhelms him. This pisses Vegeta off. So he goes, Gatling gun fire. Goku goes times 2 Kamehameha, which actually, if you really break it down, probably would have been enough. But Goku pushes it to times 3, which well and truly surpasses Vegeta, throws him up in the air. And, just nearly messes him up. But here is where the biggest change, one of the big first changes occurred. Vegeta doesn't transform into a great ape because no transformations exist. So Vegeta now actually has to hightail the hell out of there with his literal tail between his legs because he's got no other option here. He can't and Goku probably just follows him up there because he's still generally fine. I mean, he can handle the triple better than he could in the original. So he follows him up there, and Vegeta has no other option than to hightail it the hell out of there. And now we get into an interesting little problem here. What happens? Vegeta's gone. They got to go find the Dragon Balls on Namek. So Goku, Krillin, and Gohan go to Namek. It's not Goku and Bulma, because Bulma's the one who could fly the ship. But so all 3 of them go to Namek. Well, Vegeta obviously recovers. Though he doesn't actually get as messed up as he did in the original. He got seriously jacked up in the original. Here he's hurt, but he's fine. So ultimately, he probably maybe just evens out to an even 20,000. Let's say that. He still probably gets a minor Zenkai because he still got roughed up. But he keeps his tail because it doesn't matter. So the gang, is there. They go to the village. They see Dende. Goku's there too, and he wants to, but he can sense Frieza's power, and Frieza eclipses everyone right now. But ultimately, Gohan gets in there, saves Dende. Goku has to get them the hell out of there. And fortunately, if he had to, he could fight Deborah. And he does kind of, keep Deborah, at a distance until, there's the energy blast from Vegeta, fortunately, and Goku kind of goes and saves the others. And so Vegeta's doing his own thing. Goku and Gohan are doing their own, and Krillin are doing their own thing. Well, again, going through the motions a little bit here. Krillin, Gohan, and Goku, A, get the Dragon Ball, but B, get their hidden potential unlocked. Now, this puts Krillin and Gohan at the 11 and 12 they originally were at. And this would put Goku, remember, it's about a times 8 initial multiplier. If I remember my math correctly on that, it would put him at 98. I believe that's the 8 times 12. No, it puts him at 96. My bad. 96,000, which puts him now at his arriving on Namek area of power. And obviously, he'll get a lot stronger. Well, Zarbon shows up, obviously, and Vegeta does as well to get the Dragon Ball. But Goku is basically like, no, that's not happening. Blast him. Takes care of them. And puts Vegeta in a very tight spot. Now, at this point in time, Vegeta's been causing enough trouble that the Ginyu Force show up. And yeah, you're going to get a general repeat of what happens, minus the fact that Goku can handle the entire Ginyu Force, and nearly does, except for the fact that Ginyu, takes Goku's body. Now, unlike with the last one, Bardock, with Bardock being going to King Kai's, there's only Krillin and Gohan. Now, their powers will increase enough that they can probably take on Ginyu and Goku's body. And Vegeta is doing the best he can, but he's just can't catch up with these guys. Ultimately, though, there's the problem of, are they going to be able to get Goku's body back? And fortunately, I think for enough tricks, they are able to do that. Because their powers continuing to increase as well. Unfortunately, this leaves them in a tight spot. How the hell are they going to manage this? Well, unfortunately, now we're in an area where they need to get to Frieza's ship, but Frieza's going to probably be there. Same with the remaining Ginyus who managed to survive, which wouldn't be a lot of them, admittedly, because, Vegeta still kind of wastes, like, Raccoon while he's asleep and all that, or knocked out. But Jason and Barter, I think, are actually still around. At least Jason and Barter. Ginyu, I think at this point is finito. I think Vegeta does get the killing blow on him. So what are they going to do now? Well, fortunately, they actually do have Dende there. And Dende can heal them up. Now, this at this point puts Goku probably now in the Vegeta power level ranges when he fought Frieza, closing in on 500,000. Like, guys, I always argue that that Goku probably didn't have as much potential as Gohan, at least in the initial canon. But he probably had something akin to it. So his full multiplier will probably be around like a 60 times 60 in this case. Which, if you do the math real quick, means that his power level is going to hit about 720,000 when it's all said and done. When he confronts Frieza, his power level is 720. And this is where our heroes die. Because if there are no transformations in Dragon Ball at all, the Frieza we get isn't the first form Frieza you see, because that's not his actual true form. That is a suppressed form he uses. And then he throws the transformations until he reaches his actual form. As Vegeta put it, he just uses this form to conserve energy. Actually, you're wrong. It's because my own power is so tremendous that I can't even control it. So, that means when confronting Frieza, even though Goku can do probably a Kaioken times 10 to hit 7.2 million, which would be great, it means jack shit. Because Frieza's power suppressed at that 1% of his true power. It wasn't really 1%. It was like 3-something percent. But still, was 3 million. Woo. All he gotta do is go to a grand total of 5% of his power to basically match Goku. And then if he needs to nearly match Goku. And then if he wants to get frisky, go to 15% and lay waste to him. Even if Goku could magically manage a 20 times Kaioken, doesn't matter. Frieza, again, at about 15% of his actual power, roughly speaking, can just match that or surpass it. So, long story short they're all gonna die. Now, luckily, Frieza's not gonna get the Dragon Balls. He's not gonna get immortality. But unfortunately, everyone on Namek is dead. Vegeta also dies. Our heroes are dead. There is no way to revive them. Unless Whis wants to just come out of the fold randomly saying, I felt sorry for you. Boop. It could happen, but it won't. So Frieza just goes about doing his shit. And eventually he'll probably come along to Earth, claim it as his own. The few Z fighters who are still around will try, which means nothing, because that just means Roshi. That's all it means, because all the other Z fighters were dead. And he'll just take Earth for himself. He'll be happy for many, many years. Gero will be like, oh no, I can't have that. Now, Gero might try to take on Frieza with the androids, if he decides to. And to be fair, the androids are stronger than Frieza. They ultimately are based on the information they were given. So at some point, Frieza maybe figures out gets attacked by the androids, is what I'm trying to go with here. And Frieza just, in a last ditch, just blows up the planet. Because Frieza could do that. That's the thing. His power level is below the androids at that time. But and the androids probably have the ability to wipe out a planet with their sheer power, theoretically. But Frieza's one of the only individuals we actually saw literally doing that. So I don't know if they can survive the planet blowing up, because that's also including when he attacks the core of the planet. The core of the planet blows up. And we don't know if those guys could survive that. So Frieza eventually, if the androids try to wake up and attack and all that, he just blows up the planet in retaliation and just leaves. And Boo's in there too, but he's sealed in nothing power. So that leads us to Beerus eventually waking up, not having any Saiyans around, so except for like Broly, and he's not in the mood for that. He doesn't think Broly could do anything at the time. So Beerus even said he would probably go and kill Frieza, and he does, which then leads to the universe is ultimately just getting wiped out by Zeno, because Zeno was planning to do that anyway. So yeah, without transformations in the series, characters are effed. Like, the entire universe is effed, in my humble opinion. Now, maybe my opinion is wrong. It's all, well, technically my opinion If it's an opinion, it's neither fact nor fiction. It is just an opinion. So it's neither wrong nor right. But that is just my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.